It's been about 2 years since I colored my hair. As you can see, I just have a little bit of color left on the ends, and I rocked this mini twist style for about a month, and while I had them in, I gave myself a trim. So my ends are already looking so much better just from that trim that I did a couple weeks ago. Today, I'm dyeing my hair with the Creme of Nature Exotic Shine color in 7.3, which is a medium warm brown. So I'm really excited to show you guys the results. So I've already prepped my hair by blowing it out and dividing it into 4 sections to make the coloring process easier. So I'm going to show you all the steps that I took, and I'm going to be using tinfoil just to separate my hair, and I'm also going to use a fine-tooth comb to tease at the roots just to make sure that I don't have a harsh line of demarcation for the color. I wanted to make it more natural. And I also wanted to keep my roots black just so that the transition is more seamless. But if you want an all-over color, you can dye all the way to the roots, but you should leave the same amount that I left undyed from the roots the first time around and only add closest to your scalp at the very end to avoid hot roots. So it's a little bit of a learning curve using the tinfoils, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple. So you want to make sure that you take really thin sections so that you can really saturate the hair with color. And I ended up using 4 boxes of hair dye. Honestly, I probably could have used another box that would have made it a little bit easier to saturate the back of my hair. But yeah, that's one of the things you want to remember, is to make sure that you have enough dye before you start. And another tip I want to give if you have a lot of thick hair like I do is to mix the color in a plastic color mixing bowl. I ended up using a glass bowl just because I had so much dye and it wasn't going to fit in the section I was using, but plastic is the optimal material that you should be mixing the hair dye in so that it doesn't react. You don't want to use any type of metal utensils or metal bowls because it will mess up the hair color. So mixing in the bowl just made it a lot easier for me to apply with a brush, but it does come with an applicator bottle that you can just squirt onto your head if you're just doing an all over color. So another technique that I'm using towards the roots is feathering the brush sideways so that I don't get a straight line of demarcation. That, coupled with teasing the roots, just ensures a more natural transition. So once I got towards the back of my head, I realized that it took me a little bit longer to do the front than the back, and I wanted to make sure that I got all the dye onto my hair before the chemical reaction ran out. So I decided to start using my hands just to speed up the process. But again, I'm still taking small sections and feathering the color at the roots and then sliding it throughout the length of my hair. So from the time that you complete a whole section, you have 30 minutes to let your hair process before you have to take the color out. But in the future, to make the color process a little bit more faster and to get the back a little lighter, I definitely would have used the tinfoils. So now I'm just checking to see how the color is lifting, and just so that you know, the color that you see right here is not the actual color that your hair is going to be. So don't get scared if it looks a lot lighter, because once you rinse off the dye, it's not going to be that light. But you can see that it has been processing, and with the tinfoil, it definitely did process a lot more. Once I checked the progress and saw that the front was processing a lot faster than the back, being that it had been left on longer, I sectioned my hair to ensure that I could shampoo out the color in the front before doing the back. This is after I have washed and deep conditioned my hair with the argan oil deep conditioner. And like I said, you can see the back is not as light as the front, but I do have a little bit of highlights on the ends, so there's also that. I had it styled in these twists for the weekend. It's 2 braids, so you can see the color with some definition. I used the argan oil moisture rich hair butter to style my hair. Now that I have color treated hair, I'm going to be adding the Plex Breakage Defense system into my routine, and it's a 3-part system with a first step including the Bond Mender pre-treatment, And the benefit of this is that it penetrates the internal structure of the hair to reinforce it from the inside out, and the Breakage defense system is formulated with strength-building active ingredients proven to protect hair from the inside out for a noticeable difference that you can see and feel after just one use. It's going to help reduce damage and breakage for longer and stronger hair, and it's salon-grade technology for home use. And I'm just loving how the braid out of the twists are even cute. So this is the result of my braided twist out. The hair's a little bit frizzy and the curls are a little bit crinkly, but that's to be expected given that I braided the twists and went swimming multiple times with them in. I do like the volume that I got out of this. And I'm going to come a little closer so that you can see the color. It's a deep, vibrant, reddish brown. My ends are a little light because I had a tiny bit of color left on. And yeah, so overall the experience was really good, a lot better than I anticipated, especially doing my hair on my own. I know it can seem kind of like a lot if you don't have any help, but sectioning your hair, that's number one. That made all the difference, just to make sure that you got through each piece thoroughly, and having my hair in 4 sections really ensured that. With the front of my hair, I put it in foils in order to just make sure that I got through each section. In retrospect, seeing how the back didn't process nearly as light as the front did, in the future I would definitely put foils in the back, but given my time constraints and after having mixed the hair dye, I didn't want the chemical reaction to expire. It is a little bit of a learning curve if you haven't ever used the foils before, but once you get the hang of it, it's super easy. So if you are doing this yourself and you do decide to use the foils, I would suggest trying it out on your hair with like a conditioner or a cream styler or some type of product just to get the hang of how to do a couple foils on your head before you go through with the hair color. Because it was my first time, it did take longer than I anticipated to foil the entire front. If you use the foil generates more heat, which makes your hair color process faster and you can get lighter results. So if you want to go for like a deep brown, like you can kind of see in the back, if you want to go for a slightly deeper brown, then I would do like I did and not use the foils. But if you want a little bit of a lighter color like I have here in the front, I would definitely use the foils to process your hair. Well, I'd say from start to finish it probably took me about an hour to get the hair dye into my hair, and I used 4 boxes. If I would have had 5 boxes, because then I would have had a little bit more product left at the end to really saturate the back of my hair, and then maybe I could have got a slightly lighter result. So let me know how you guys like this new color. I was really excited just to go a couple shades lighter. I don't want to go too light, given that I've already done that before, and when I go really light blonde, it's not that good for my hair, and I've noticed that it's harder to maintain. So I want to stick with like the darker shades. I might go through and put a few highlights close to the color that's on the ends of my hair. I'm excited that the Exotic Shine color by Creme didn't damage my hair, doesn't feel dry, it still feels moisturized, and yeah, I'm just excited to show you guys other styles and twist outs that I do once I wash my hair again. So let me know if you like this color. What color out of all the colors that I've done so far is your favorite? And have you ever tried a box hair color? Would you ever try a box hair color? Leave it in the comments below. And I use the Argan Oil Extra Firm Hold, perfect edges. Just slick down my edges right here. And I just love the extra hold because it really lays down my hair. With this extra firm hold, you know that it's really gonna last.